technical skills. It's like 80% of the course will be delivered using hands-on technical skill development and upskilling, you can say. Because there is a gap in the industry about people who can do. So there are two types of individuals, doers and talkers. Now, talkers are very smart. They can take manager's role. They understand technology. But if there is one talker, you need at least 3 to
Sorry,
5
your voice is
doers
not clear.
to deliver. Sorry? Is there anything missing? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear me.
Yes.
Nilesh.
Yes.
Okay, I heard some noise or
Yes.
chatting in the background, so I thought, okay, let's carry on. So yeah, today's orientation is around the topics we are going to cover throughout this course and why we designed this course. Especially as Bharat mentioned, you all will be getting support from ittrainer.guru for preparing interview related, interview-related preparation, CV preparation. But the other side of the thing is you need to get up to the speed with the skills. To bridge the gap in the industry, you need more skilled individuals. And whether you have a degree or high-level education in computing or computer science, it doesn't matter. Throughout my 25 years of career, I have seen people from various backgrounds, like commerce background, arts, and even not having highly skilled college degree, but they are successfully working in the industry. Because think about this as like somebody is passionate about becoming a chef. You don't need a degree for that, right? You need the right skills. You should be able to understand ingredients, and you should be able to cook different type of dishes to cater your customers. Similar to that, in IT, if you have good communication skills, if you have good team working attitude, problem solving approach, and you are willing to learn and solve problems, then you are good to go. It's just the missing part is skills and understanding how to apply those skills while solving problems. And that's what we are going to teach throughout this course. Myself, Nilesh Barot, as Bharat mentioned, I'm an open source enthusiast working in the industry for last 25 plus years. This is a small, I think so, yeah. So these are this is the agenda for today's presentation. We are going to cover, and don't worry about too much technically. Throughout the course, you will learn beat by beat and understand and master those skills. This is a small intro for myself. I've been working in England for last nearly 20 years. And before that, I was working with multinational companies from India. And you believe me, there are always jobs in market if you have right skills, right? This is not about learning and mastering just theory. I have seen a lot of individuals are good memorizing things, and they know how to solve the problem. But when it comes to actually solving it, they are struggling because the biggest challenge is they don't have hands-on knowledge, hands-on problem solving skills. Throughout this course, you all will be getting things done by working or by doing things, not just by memorizing content and just saying, oh, this problem can be solved this way. Imagine I'm going back to the example of becoming a chef, right? If you want to be a chef, you can go online and go through a lot of recipes, and yeah, I can cook this recipe, I can cook this dish or whatever you like. But when you actually start doing it, first time it may not exactly turn up the way you want, or it may not be tasty as well. You can burn your fingers, or maybe the first time attempting to prepare a dish will not work at all. But if you are passionate about it, you keep trying once, twice, 5 times, maybe on the 5th time it will start preparing it properly, and maybe at the 10th time you will be making it perfectly fine, like a experienced chef. It's exactly same thing. You have to just change your mindset, start learning, and make sure you don't give up. If you give up halfway, then it won't work. Okay, so these are some of the qualifications I have. So whenever I work in industry, I also make sure I keep getting my professional qualifications so that I can understand the new technologies and new softwares coming up in the open source space, have value. And in last 25 years, what I have seen is when I started my career, Linux was one of the completely new operating system on the space of technology. And I have seen now today 90% of the internet works or functions on Linux. Even the world's most popular mobile operating system, Android, is also derived from originally Linux kernel and Linux open source methodologies and work practices. So you can see and imagine that the scale at what open source technologies are performing in today's today's technical world is immense. A huge amount of services and new applications are being built using open source tooling. Now, along with the open source, we will be going through the cloud native approach for building and understanding services. Now, we don't have to develop any applications. This is not a software development training. This is about bridging a gap between software development, deployment, and building the platforms where the softwares are running. So there are different type of skills required by cloud engineers, automation engineers, system integrators, or system admins. System admins were the like old type of jobs, which are now nowadays replaced by DevOps engineers with working on operations side. So think about operational requirements versus software development requirements. Both are two sides of the coin. Once the softwares are developed, tested, then obviously you need an operations team who manages those applications in production environments, pre-prod environments, and also catering software testing and software development teams with the required facilities. So this cloud native approach has changed a lot of parameters in the industry. Now, when you talk about cloud, doesn't mean only the public clouds. There are private clouds as well. So public cloud means some of you might have already heard about Azure from Microsoft, AWS from Amazon, Google Cloud from Google. So those are public clouds where people like you and me can sign up and use or consume those services in a pay-as-you-go model so that you don't have to pay money upfront. On the other hand, companies who are capable of investing a large amount of money, they build their own private clouds. And also, in many cases, you need to work on a hybrid cloud. So the skills which you are going to learn in this course will get you ready to understand those cloud native approaches and skills required to become an operations engineer or support engineer or cloud native engineer. There are different titles, but most of the time, 80% of the skills are common. So that's how you will be learning and mastering those skills required to get ready for the job. Now, when we talk about skills, you need to always do a bit of research and see why we need to learn these skills, right? I am working in industry, so I am getting information from different various sources. This is the information I have picked up from one of the research company. You can see the link for that article is on the footnote. You can also go yourself on that particular link, and you can even search on internet about cloud native application development and delivery. So the demand is growing, and they are expecting a huge increase, and the market share will grow up to 17 billion, like more than 3 times compared to what it was last year. And whenever these changes happens in industry, every 5 to 7 years, there are new technologies coming and becoming native for the industries. The skills which we are going to learn throughout this course applies across the industry. It is not about only education industries or only public sector or only private sector. The skills you learn will be able to allow you to get work in any industry like banking sector or research and development, media, education, and everywhere where they are using online services and offering consumer different type of applications to get their day-to-day task running or working. The growing demand for the cloud native application has been researched further by this another agency, and you can see that the type of applications, the new type of applications which will be developed or which are getting developed, the first mindset is it should be cloud native. Now, just trying to rephrase that, cloud native means a company who is developing an application doesn't want to develop an application which works only on one platform, like only AWS or only Azure or only Google or only on their own premises infrastructure. The application what they develop should be capable of running on any platform, like public cloud or a private cloud, right? Obviously, if you, for example, if you are a car manufacturer and if you want to manufacture a car, and if you want to manufacture a car, you will design and manufacture it so that you can cater more consumers, right? So that you can have, if the car is success, more people can purchase and run it on the same roads, no matter which country you are in. So there are standards, right? A car manufacturing in England or car manufacturing in USA or car manufacturing in India or Asia will be designing and developing a car which can run anywhere in the world. Similar to that, the new approach is the application should be developed which can run on any cloud platform, whether it is a public cloud or a private cloud. And that's why this transition is happening. And that's why in next 5 to 7 years, there will be huge boost in the demand, and people or companies and industry will be looking for skilled people who can understand cloud native technologies, cloud native application development. You have to understand it. You don't have to develop it, so that you can support that and you can build platform for those requirements. Throughout this course, what we will be learning. So at high level, I have created this small itinerary, or you can say a set of sections which we will be covering as when we start. These are all open source technologies, right? And the reason the open source technologies have become more powerful is because they don't have to buy software licenses, or the source code is also available, and company having smart individuals and qualified engineers can take advantage of those open source technologies and build their applications, and they can use it for commercial purposes as well, regardless of there are different type of open source licensing, but the services and skills which we will be learning for those softwares, they are completely open source. You can learn them, you can build services, and you can also earn money using those services. So it's very high level. I won't be going into deep details at the moment. We will be taking it step by step when we start the course in a week or so. So what are open source softwares? In simple terms, those softwares which are publicly available, including the source code, you can freely use it, modify it, and distribute it under the terms and conditions of original software licenses. It's generally referred as GPL, General Public License. Linux is one of the most popular open source software I have come across. There are a few others like Apache, MySQL, PostgreSQL. Some of them has free versions, and some of them has been so good that big companies have purchased their old software source codes, and they started building their commercial products as well, and they've been very successful as well. If you think about the current top 3 cloud providers like Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud, they were all started with the Linux-based systems. You know, I remember when I started with the AWS cloud about 12 years back. We were checking the virtualization they were using, and they were using a Citrix Zen, which was an open source virtualization software, with the first initial versions of their global services were powered by those open source software. Because it saves a lot of money, companies are able to research and develop applications using open source software, and the time to market is very quick. They don't have to, the investment required is just the skilled people working towards a desired a goal to deliver some applications and services which bridges the gap in the industry for different consumers. And that's why I emphasize in my whole career, I was always asking people, say, make sure you learn Linux and some open source tools at good level so that you are always ready. Those tools and skills are very in demand across the board, whether you want to be a software engineer, you want to be a software tester, or you want to be a cloud native engineer, systems administrator, DevOps, GitOps, and the cloud native whole suite of tooling required to become a modern operations engineer or modern cloud native support engineer. These are just few names of the companies who are using open source softwares like and the Kubernetes. If you think about Kubernetes, the Kubernetes is originally a software from Google. In 2014, about 10 years back, Google donated that project to a CNCF Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Before that, the name of the project was BORG, which is the Google specific container orchestration and automation system. And when they donated it to the CNCF, the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, you can search online, you will see the huge amount of traction there, why Kubernetes has become so popular. After Linux, I can say the second most popular open source project is Kubernetes. And it has just started, right? In next 5, 10, 15 years, it will be, it is de facto standard right now, and it will be growing. Like there is no U-turn, there is no going back, because the way the orchestrator is designed, it facilitates so many features and functionalities, and it eases the software development and delivery. You might have come across a bank called Monzo. The Monzo whole bank runs on Kubernetes. Netflix runs on Kubernetes for most of their part. And a lot of other companies, if you search online, going into cncf.io, you will see which are the consumers for Kubernetes. And you will see the huge amount of big companies and small companies. And there are a list of open source softwares, but don't worry too much. There are so many. As I mentioned, we will be going through this course, and these are the content, and you will learn a lot. Basically, you need to be prepared for doing hands-on things. Think about, if you want to be a chef, you can't just watch recipes and say, oh yeah, this is easy to make. You have to do it yourself and you will learn. And if you want to drive your own car, if you want to own a BMW, Mercedes, or a big car like Bentley or Porsche, you need to learn how to drive, right? And you can't say, oh yeah, I have seen videos how to drive a car. But when you start driving a car, you really know what are the skills and what are your level of driving, and you can practice and learn it. And the day you will drive yourself will be the biggest day for yourself and in your life. Is similar to this in the skills, IT technology. You have to understand what are the requirements, what are the in-demand skills, learn it, practice it, master it, and you will be fine.